assure you that a lot of value for joining this event. Once again, welcome everyone. Thank you for making sure you're a part of this program. I know that certainly we're going to have a swell time. Just to get everyone's attention, if you're excited to be here, you can just drop an emoji right there on the chat room. Say, I'm happy to be here. Yeah, I see Phil Luapo. Yeah, it's great to have you right on the call. And certainly it's going to be a value adding session. All right, so I'll just kick the program, get the program started. This program was born as one of the key, of the priority values at Anutio. Our goal is to see how we can make the best out of every young professional or young graduate out there. And even those who have gone some years in their career, we want to make sure that everyone is the best that they can be, right? I mean, it is not enough to be in career. It is sacrosanct to ensure that you are heading the right way. And so this event, we believe, will help some people chart a new course, will help some people get better at whatever they're doing, will help some people find new opportunities. And we're quite expectant that it's going to be a valuable session. And so as we get started, in the course of this session, we're going to be having I'll just read out the agenda of this program, of this meeting, so that you're going to be able to at least have, it will help your expectation as to how we're going to go in the course of this program. And so we're going to have a welcome address by the CEO at Anutio, and then we will have the first session, which is on personal branding, how to market yourself in a competitive job market. And after that, we'll take a Q&A. If there are questions that come from the session, we'll take them. And then we'll have a short session, which will basically speak about the Anutio product and, show you how, you can leverage and get value from it for your career. And then we will move on to the next session, session 2. And that session, we go deep dive into accessing global job opportunities. Then after that, we would have a Q&A session, after which we'll take a short quiz, and then we would have the closing remark. We do not expect this meeting to go beyond 2 hours ultimately. So I want you to just sit tight, be highly expectant, and certainly you will get the best from this program. Now I will quickly move to the next item, the welcome address by Ehi Agbolaho, who is the CEO and founder at Anutio. You're welcome, Ehi.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you so much, Daniel. I wouldn't say too much, but to say that I'm extremely excited to have Folashade and Nelson here, and I'm looking forward to learning from them. Like you said, the goal is really to support each and everyone with practical tools, tips that they can employ to make the most of their career path, make the most of opportunities that are available to us globally. And so, let's dive right in. Yeah, over to you, Daniel.
All right, thank you, Ehi, for making it brief and to the point. Okay, now we're going to be having our first session. and it's on personal branding, how to market yourself in a competitive job market. This session is going to be taken by Folashade Daini, and Folashade is a growth marketer based in Ottawa, Ontario. She's also a content creator with a community of over 200,000 individuals across several platforms, sharing resources about career, motherhood, and lifestyle. She's partnered with brands like Sony Pictures, Disney World Simple, AfriChange, PayFi, and many others to drive brand visibility and conversion. So please join me as I bring on board Folashade Daini. You're welcome on board, Folasha.
Thank you so much, Daniel. So I just wanted to put like a brief on my IG stories that I'm speaking here, just in case like we have other people who want to join. Hi everyone, my name is Folashade. Let me turn on my video. Hi everyone, my name is Folashade and I'm here to talk about something I'm so passionate about because it literally changed my life. Even though, you know, when you're doing something and you're not necessarily doing it consciously, you're just doing it because that's who you are. And then, you know, it just turns out to be something like that everybody needs to start doing. That's how like I came across, you know, personal branding. So just a minute, I just want to share my slide. Hmm. Now, how do I do this? This is crazy. I'm coming. I know how to share my slide, guys. I'm coming. Just give me a minute. Share. I just want to do it I'm not saying all my life
You're
secrets.
doing that.
What am I doing? Sharing all my life secrets.
Okay, you're on your slide now.
Okay. So I'm going to go straight to the point. And part of the things I'm also going to be doing, right, is sharing my story because I strongly believe in getting inspired by other people, right? And I mean, that's part of the reasons why I'm even here today, because I saw like what was possible. And like as I share, just feel free to, you know, take some notes. So personal branding, how to sell yourself. In a competitive job market, my sisters and my brothers, it's competitive. What I don't believe is that, what I do believe about the job market is that the job market is competitive. What I don't believe is that there are no jobs. Because see, the truth is that there are even people are begging, do you understand, to take even multiple jobs because I mean, so there are jobs. Don't ever believe the fact that there are no jobs. Is it competitive? Yes, it is competitive to get in, or it is competitive to what's the word now? It is competitive to get in, but once you get in and you have like a track record of success, they'll just be rushing you like, you know, like agege bread. I'm coming. Okay, so hi, I'm Fola. I'm a growth marketer. I live in Ottawa, Ontario. I'm also a content creator. About 200K people across like my platforms. I share resources about transitioning into a tech career, my journey as a mom. I have two kids, and if you can listen carefully, you will hear one of them knocking at my door. She wants to enter. And I also share like some lifestyle content as well. I've worked with brands like Disney, World Simple, some tech brands, AfriChange, PayFi, LaserPay, you know, before we shut down, you know, while I was in Nigeria then, and many others, Money Africa, you know, to drive visibility and conversion. Okay, so I'm going to start like by saying this. You know, I know that like a good part of this is like how to land like global job opportunities. You know, it's competitive, but then you also want to go global. You don't necessarily want to work for one, you know, on like one unknown company. You also want to, you know, be able to say, oh, I've worked at Disney, or I've worked with Google, you know. Let's not lie, right? It has a nice ring to it when you're able to say stuff like that, you know. And yeah, but here's the thing: before you can work with a global company, you need to have a global mindset. And what does that mean? That literally means that you need to believe that you are good enough. You know what? I can only see my screen and it's making this conversation awkward. Okay, I can see you guys now. Okay, so I think I'll just go this way because when I was doing that slideshow, it was just showing me like just my screen and it felt like I was talking to myself. Okay, so I think the first thing when I had a class like last month, and part of like we took like the first 20 minutes to just like take confessions. You would think we're in church. Like part of the confessions like that you know that I shared with them was I can make money, my work is good enough, do you get like things like that. Yeah, so and it's important that that was the first thing we addressed, because you can only go as far as your mind can see. I'm telling you, like opportunities can be in front of you like this, but if you've shut yourself out, if you can't see it, you can't even get there in the first place. So I'll say like the first thing is that you need to have a global mindset that you are good enough. Also, I'm not for toxic positivity. So if you're not good enough too, I mean, it's also something to tackle. Do get? And that brings me to my next point. If not, you are not good enough, because we are inherently like good. Like God has created us. I believe in God. If you don't, I'm sorry. But I believe that God has created us as we have everything it takes, to be the best. The only question now is that, are you showing it enough? That's what I mean by if you're not good enough. You are good enough. If you're a human being created in God's image, you are good enough. But what I'm saying is that the work you're producing, is it good enough? And that brings me to like my second point. Global companies do global work, like high quality work, right? And that's why I strongly believe that if you're in a job that you don't enjoy, and because of that, you're only doing the bare minimum, you're not really like doing like, I don't want to use like local parlance to say you're not doing me. And that's the truth. Like you're not doing them in that sense, you're doing yourself, because what you're doing is that you are subjecting yourself to a low quality of work. You're being mediocre. So you need to do like a high quality of work that across any country, that work is regarded as standard. And I'll give you like a scenario. So when I got into tech, I used to be a veterinary doctor. The kind of articles that I saw were the kind of articles that I tried to recreate. But as time went on, I think there was and like I said, I will share my story. Right. I said like as I started sharing like on socials, on Twitter, like whatever it is that I knew, I would share whatever it is that I was learning from courses and applying at work. Then I remember there was this organization, the content agency, they said they were hiring writers, and I think they said $500 for one article. And at that time, I think my salary was $1,000. So I was like, Mado, if I can write 2 articles, that means I've made my salary, right? Like in addition to whatever it is that I had. So I applied, tried to, I think they showed me like proof samples of like work. So here was I coming from a place where if I wrote like a 500-word article or like a 1,000-word article, like it was okay, because I was working with a startup and I was doing like so many things. But these people were writing 2.5, 3K solid articles. Like if you still Google today, do you get like it was, and because like generally I kind of have like I can do attitude. Like that's just me. If I see something, even if it's going to be a lot, I think I can do it, even though usually that backfires. But that was the mindset I had. So I applied, and the person said, okay, we're going to give you 2 topics to write about, test articles that we are going to pay you $500 for each one. I said test and you're paying me $500. I was in Nigeria. So like it was like a lot of money to me then. So I did the first one, and my goodness. If you see the number of highlighted, all those yellow lines that people highlight in that document, oh my God. And here was I, coming, I think I was in 2021, thinking like I was already like the best at what I did. And then here are like these people, they were Nigerians like me, but they work with like global companies, and they were like, no, like your work is not good enough. Like they gave me feedback. And they're like, okay, you know what, we're going to give you one more chance. So again, like the second article, really gave it my best, just really like tried. Again, came back with like lots of corrections. And that thing made me realize 2 things. It was a very sad moment for me then, because they go back and said, oh, like we like you, we like your attitude to work, we see that you're willing to learn. It's just that right now we don't have that capacity to help you learn. Do you get? So go and learn somewhere else. We are sorry, we have to take this opportunity somewhere else. And that just made me realize that I was not good enough, or my work was not good enough. And it was a very sad moment for me, but I didn't allow it get to me. I mean, I feel like other people, they might have been bitter and they say they don't like me, or they are witch hunting me, of which they even paid me my $1,000, even though they still had to do like a lot of correction on the articles. But he exposed me. I feel like that experience single-handedly changed my career, because what he did was that it exposed me to the quality of work in my industry, in marketing. And I just, from there, I started trying to like match that level. So you need to do high quality work. Yeah. And then another thing that really helped was finding relevant communities. For me, I work in marketing, and that community was Superpath. Superpath is a Slack channel for marketers, right? And then you meet marketers all over North America. Yeah. And and there are a lot of Nigerians on it actually. What that did was that it exposed me to like different people in my industry, B2B, B2C, that were doing great work. And even from there, I even got like a chance to guest post for some company that was in the US. So see these two things, doing high quality work and joining relevant communities, because opportunities are usually in communities. And if you are not a part of them, you will not see it, no matter how much you search. Right. And then the other thing is also showing proof of work. So back to my story again, I had joined Super Parts, I'd been exposed to high quality work. Now I knew that was like the least standard. Even at the company where I was, that was not what I was trying to target. I remember like writing some articles for LaserPay then that, they were in that line. I'll create content briefs because I had upgraded, I had seen better work, I had like upgraded. So I had like started compiling my proof of work. Fast forward to 2022, right, was when like I got my first role here in Canada while in Nigeria, and then I remember the person reaching out on LinkedIn, which brings me to like my next point that I'm going to talk about. The person reaching out on LinkedIn, and then the person saying, they were looking for a copywriter and a content writer, like they were in Vancouver, could I do the work? So I sent like my portfolio again. And this is why like doing high quality work and joining relevant communities comes in, because if I had sent the portfolio of the work I was doing before I met those agency people, they would have just been like, it's a no, right? Because I mean, it was not like very great work, right? So I had like done it. I have a video on how to build a portfolio if you're in marketing. Even if you're not in marketing, I still think it will help, because it's literally like just a template. You can check my YouTube channel for Olashade Daini. And yeah, the other thing is, now this thing is so important: build publicly. What you can see here is build publicly. What you cannot see is that build publicly on LinkedIn. I know like LinkedIn gets like a lot of bad reputation. People are like, people are always forming, everybody's always excited on LinkedIn, everybody's always thrilled on LinkedIn. But the truth is that people are thrilled because LinkedIn works, right? And to be honest, what I think is that every social media channel has their ups and downs. You're just going to have to be focused that, I mean, LinkedIn, sorry, the person using Samsung, I think you need to mute. I'm in LinkedIn, because I want to do this and I'm just going to focus. Any other person that is lying there, any other person that is always excited, that is not real, that one is their business. But you can't totally throw a platform away just because it gets bad rep. You are just going to be doing yourself. Especially Twitter people, if you're on Twitter a lot, and funny enough, I'm on both platforms. I don't spend as much time on Twitter these days because I have so many projects on my hands, but Twitter people like bash LinkedIn a lot. But me, I feel like, I know it's not even like I feel like I got my first Canada job in on LinkedIn months before I moved. So I know that LinkedIn works. You just have to be, but at the same time, I'm not like for lying or for saying you're excited when you're not. I'm all for like being original, which I'm going to like teach you here. So build publicly. Does anybody have any questions so far? Because I want this to be as interactive as possible.
Well, actually, I have a question, if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, sure.
So you mentioned the fact that you started off as a vet doctor. How did you stumble or decide that because vet doctor, medicine tech, like they are words apart, they are not related in any way.
Okay.
Some people that are on the call, like maybe someone is in, I don't know, some other line of work or some other area of study. How do they leverage what you just talked about, like building in public? What exactly would that mean for other
Okay.
people in other career paths? And then showing proof of work, what would that mean for them? Like, how do they show themselves and the work that they're able to do if they are not?
Yeah, if they are coming from another industry.
Yeah, but again, everybody should be a salesperson. Everybody should be a marketer. You should be able to sell
Yeah,
yourself. So
yeah.
I was hoping you could shed more light on
I
that.
literally have 3 YouTube videos on what you've just mentioned,
Okay.
right? And I'm going to like mention it, like bits of it, in this conversation. But what I'm going to do is like direct, so that like that's like super detailed. I feel like if there's anybody here like that who wants to know, I have like 3 or 4 YouTube videos, how I got like my first marketing role without any experience, how I knew like how I transitioned careers, right? It's like super detailed. And I think like even how to build a personal brand, like it's all on YouTube. But I'll just give like, if you're looking for like a super detailed answer, and if you're like someone that wants to do that, you're coming from a totally different industry, how do you even show proof of work? Do you get, like, I addressed it, but like was high level, right? I would say that 2 things. Writing for me or selling for me was not new, even though I wasn't doing it professionally. I had a blog right from when like I was in uni, like that I used to write stories or things that, had happened to me. But I didn't even know that there was any role like that. So if you're on Twitter, 2019, 2018-ish. That was when like a lot of people like started talking about their roles in tech, you know, and I would see like different roles that people were getting, software engineer and all of that. And me, I went to check and I saw like it had to do with like coding. I don't think I know how to, I don't know how to code. It's not like something I knew how to do. So I didn't even know like there was room for non-technical people, right? So it wasn't until if you watch those videos, you find out that I took like a content creation course. So, and that's why like I'm very bullish about content creators, you know, getting into tech, because if you're already content creating, if you're doing content already, you already have like a basic set of skills, you know, that you can take into marketing. So it was through content creation I started doing videos. I was already writing articles. And then like then I started like doing videos on Instagram, you know, just started sharing, and you know they were doing well, like they were doing well. I was seeing what was on people's hearts, you know, and like people were engaging. So it was really that same skill set that I started telling people like, oh, like I was open, like if they had any writing job, you know, that I could write, or you know, just really just sharing like what people. And then I used to write a lot then on my before these children like took my time on my WhatsApp stories like this. I was almost writing like almost every day. So people knew I could write. They used to enjoy my writing. So I think it was through my friend. She was speaking at an event like this, and then she was like, oh, they asked her to send a bio. So I said, send it to me, let me edit it for you. Like, and then she sent it, because she's not a writer, you know, she said, I was like, no, there's like ways that this can be better. So she sent it, I edited it, and she really liked it. And then months later, she was like, oh, my company is hiring like for a writer, you know, for a content marketing associate. Are you interested? Then again, I got to the like, okay, I was like, yes, so I am interested. The current job I was doing was paying me 75K as a doctor, Monday to Saturday. You know, I didn't have a life literally. So I went, did the interview, did a bit of research, and then that was how I got in. But if you want like the nitty-gritty of that, you know, just go go on my, and I don't even think they asked me for a portfolio. You know, they just asked like some questions if I could help them rank. I was like, yeah. But before, you know, I told like I used to write before. When I was in uni, there was this person that was doing their blog, and there was like some work that I did for them that really went well, you know, just leveraging community. So I just shared a bit of that experience. Really, what I would say is that if you're like that, I would say that the industry you're trying to target there, you're trying to get in, because it's a lot more competitive now. You know, the industry you're trying to get in, try and assess the kind of work that they already have, the kind of content that they produce, or the kind of design that they have, product design, whatever it is, right? And try to replicate that, such that if there's an opportunity, you can go with a solid portfolio. I addressed that in my fourth video, how to build a portfolio without experience. I think they should just, you know, go, so we don't like get pulled off totally, you know. Yeah, this conversation about building a good personal brand. So I would say that what makes a good personal brand, and now that brings me back to the issue of like LinkedIn and people lying, being original, like being true to yourself, not trying to copy anybody. You know, people can tell when you're being, why do you want to be a fake version, you know, of somebody when you can literally be an original of yourself? And then another thing is also like being relatable. One of the most popular comments I get like on my content, right, is that, oh my God, so relatable. Oh my God, this is me. And you can only be relatable when you pay attention and when you understand the industry that you're in. I'm trying to find an example that relates to marketing. Okay, for example, okay, someone was saying on Twitter very long time ago, someone was saying that, oh, marketers, how do you sell a product with zero budget? And then I now saw marketers too, you know, just trying to prove that they know what they know, saying do this, do that. I just commented and I said, every time they're always asking you people how you do your job without budget. Then you now say that they don't allocate like budget to marketing. Why should they? Do you understand? You know, and people now when that's commenting that that's true, you know, that's like something everybody can relate with, because the CEO wants you to acquire 1 million customers, but they don't want to give you money, you know, just knowing the touch points, you know, and that would only come from immersing yourself and like being original, being like not trying to position as something you are not, being audience centric. Now, this is because we are talking about like getting a job, your audience in this point are your fellow colleagues and the people hiring, right? So you want to think about like common problems that they have, you know, so that even when you're telling a story, for example, let's say like you're a designer, and maybe one of the problems with design is that like that you've seen is that it's not intuitive. Like people are always complaining that this app is so hard to use, you don't know where to press. Do you understand? You know, and like you can like create content around that, because like you can create content around how you solve that for somebody, right? And then now spotlight your target audience. So you can start by saying that, or maybe you solved like a problem like that where when you joined the team, the user interface was not intuitive, like it was very hard for people to use. One product that comes to mind is this product, this Web3 product, Discord. It's so hard to use. Or maybe I'm just old, maybe I'm just not in that generation, and then you can see how you solved it. And then now this is how you turn it on them, like the spotlight back on them. You now say, oh, if anybody's having challenges like this, these are the things that you should do. So you've done two things. You've told a story about a problem you solved, then you've also like put the lights back on anybody who might be having a challenge, and then you've shown them, how to do it. Okay, just give me a minute, guys. I'll be back in a minute.
Why Falashade is taking that break, I just wanted to add, like, draw from what she has said. So let's even say you studied agriculture as an example. If you take the example of what she just said, it's literally what are you doing in your day-to-day work as an agriculturist, as a agricultural extension agent, as a farm husbandry person, whatever industry you're in. It's pretty much what problem are you facing in that job today, or that you see people facing in that industry. Tell a story about it. How are you solving it? Give tips of how it worked, and just keep sharing, because that's literally you showing your portfolio to people outside of your, whether you live in Ibadan, whether you live in Canada, whether you live in US, Tennessee, wherever. Taking the story from your little locality and sharing it to everybody, because the truth is the problem you are facing in your tiny corner is the same problem every other person in that same industry is facing. So
Yeah.
that's how you can take what she had just said from a marketing perspective, copy and paste into your own industry. So I'll hand it back
Yeah,
to you.
in fact, I was going to give like I was going to say at the beginning of this call that a lot of my examples will be marketing based, but they are literally just principles. One thing that, see, if you look at the most popular content creators, and I know that everybody watches content, the most popular content creators, you will find that the why people really like them is because they know how to leverage shared experiences. Have you ever watched a video where maybe I saw a video, I'm a mom, so I will use this example. I saw a video where someone was saying mothers feeding their children. And the person, it was a guy, and the person like was taking a spoon and he was feeding a baby. You know when you want to feed the child now and you're like open your mouth, right? And that video had millions of likes because it's humanity is a shared experience. People everywhere, you don't have any unique experience. You think you're the only one singing in the bathroom. You are not. Like, there are literally like millions of people. And when you just center, like when you find the common thread that joins you, in your career, whether it's your career, and you share it, people are like, oh my God, this is true. I face this too. And if you see what I just shared with you, the concept of relatability is why Lai is so popular as a content creator in Nigeria. Because, like, do you understand? Like, he does, like, you can remember someone like him, like someone, someone like him, like maybe like a grandpa or someone you grew up with. But let me not go off like tangents. Okay, so I'm going to rush straight now. How do I start building my personal brand? You need to define who you are, what you can do, your preferred JD. This is very important, guys. Please, especially if you are building your personal brand too, so that for a goal, not just because you want people to know you, but because you want a job. You need to define who you are, you need to define what you can do, and the JD that you want, the job description. Then you need to make a list of, this is literally what I taught my students in my $55 class, even though that class is worth over $500. But this is what I taught them, and someone already got a job. Make a list of companies who are likely to find like value in your skills. Check the content that people, that people in that similar niche are sharing. This is why LinkedIn is a great platform. Now, research the quality of work in the companies you want to join. Believe what you see. If you see a certain level of quality, just believe that if they are hiring, that's the same level of quality that they'll be hiring for. Now, start replicating that quality in your current role, no matter what it is that they are paying you. Right? Remember what I said at the beginning is that if you do shady work because they are paying you shady money, you'll just be, you'll be cutting yourself, like you'll just be doing yourself. I don't know the English word for doing yourself. So what I want you to take a pen, and do this. How do I start? What's your preferred JD? I used to be a content marketer. People used to know me as a content marketer, but now I'm in growth marketing because I did this. Growth marketer. What name do you want to put for Lashade Daini? What's a one-liner that summarizes what you do? I hope you are taking notes. You can write it in your own notes. I grow brands with engaging content. Rere, I'm coming. Okay? I'm coming. I'm in a meeting. See, sorry, it's a Saturday and she's at home. I'm sorry. Okay, then what you want to do now is that you want to summarize what you do who you've done it for, and results you've got. Some people have a very hard time summarizing like their value proposition, right? And it took me years or like a couple of months to even come to this. But the formula is basically this: what do you do? Who have you done it for before? What were the results you got? No matter what level you are in your career, you must have this, right? Even if like the names are not global yet, right? So what do you do? I am a growth marketer and content creator with a 200K plus community. Who have you done it for before? I've done it for brands like Sony Pictures, Disney, World, Simple Afri Change, PayFi. And what did I do for them? I drove visibility for them. Like the results you got, my own results is even like at the beginning, kind of, right, to show. And then I also work with young POC, people of color transitioning into no-code tech roles. But really, what you want to do, and this you can literally just use on your LinkedIn profile, your preferred JD, the kind of job you are trying to get, not the one you're currently doing, right? Your display name, what you do, who you've done it for before, and the results you got. Okay, so now, Folashade, you said personal branding is important. You said LinkedIn is like important if you're looking for global roles. So what can I share? What kind of content can I share? Don't worry, at the end of this, I'm going to share a link to a content calendar, a free content calendar for you, for LinkedIn specifically. And all you have to do is just follow, it's like a template. I've created it for you. I'm going to be giving it to you because of your CEO. She's my very good friend, so.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so what can you share? You can share like your work process. He was saying this, initially, like no matter what industry you're currently in, no matter what like your work is like, let's say like this is your product, this is like the end result of your work, this is what you're employed to like create. So what you want to do is that you want to share like your process. If you were to create this again, how would you walk through it? Walk people through that. What that does is that people are like, oh my God, this person knows what they are doing. It's something you do every day, right? But because now you've broken it down, I believe that you can't explain something unless you're really good at it. And if you can't break it down, that's most likely because you've not paid attention to it. But when you share your work process, how you arrive at something, for example, there was a time when like my major work was producing articles, and what I did was I used to share like how I create the content brief, to work with, like how I do my research. And what that did was like you drew like employers to me, and then results of your past work. Did you produce something? Did you do something that helped your company? Share the results. Did you take them from 0 to 100? Did you help them save $20,000? Share the results. Then your journey so far. I feel like this is even part of the reasons why I have such a huge following on LinkedIn. It's not huge like that. LinkedIn and Twitter is because people are like, oh my God, you were a vet doctor. How did you get into, like, just like he was asking? So your journey so far, don't try to cover your journey because it's not as enticing as the next person. Your journey is unique to you, right? So share your journey, no matter it is where you're coming from. There's just this way. Human beings are multidimensional, and there's a big part of what that is emotional. When people know where you're coming from, they're excited for you when you go further. When I started sharing that I got a contract with Disney or with Sony, people are like, oh my God, Folashade, I knew when you started, congratulations. You understand? So it just like builds that affinity, because personal branding is storytelling, and stories like draw emotions. And then another thing you can also share is your take on industry insights. So maybe there's a popular industry meet. You're like, oh no, this is a meet. This is what I think. What that does is that it makes you like an authority, something that everybody like already agrees on. You now say, no, this is not what I think. And then you now share your own perspective. And then positive testimonials. I request this from my past bosses all the time. Like, oh, please share a testimonial. And then after they share it on LinkedIn, I take a screenshot and I share it on LinkedIn again as a post. Social proof. It just shows people that, oh, what this person says they can do. And then finally, relevant lifestyle updates. I'm not saying go and post when you get engaged or when they ask you out, no, but maybe like you're back from maternity leave or you went on vacation. Don't just share work stuff, because human beings, again, we are multidimensional. Start sharing now. Don't wait until you're an expert, right? Because there's really nothing like an expert. Everybody's at one stage in their journey. And no matter what stage you are in, there's someone who can learn from you. You have a unique combination of experiences that no one else has. I know that my time is running out, so I'm just going to. And then where do I share? I've said it's LinkedIn. You can also share on Twitter. They will drag you, but me, I don't even send them. If you see, they drag people, but if they only drag you into your success. Let's say you share something, people are like, no, that's not how they do it. They are just helping you increase your reach. If you care too much about what people think, you will not build a personal brand. You can also share on social platforms. Then how often should you share? If you're just starting out on LinkedIn, I would say 3 times in a week, at least, if you're just starting out. But once you've built momentum, right, once you've built momentum, then you can just, define what consistency means for you. But if you're just starting out 3 times a week, and then another thing is that, see, I said that I used to be a content marketer, and part of my fears when I wanted to move to growth marketing was that people now say, this person does not really have experience. This person has been a content marketer. But the truth is that you are allowed to evolve. And that's one thing I say a lot, even to content creators that follow me, that niching is overrated, right? Human beings, like, how old are you that you want to plug yourself to just one thing? Do you understand? You're probably like in your 20s, so you're allowed to evolve. If you do content marketing today and you're not okay, you want to go for more, go for more. If your if the JD that you put in your LinkedIn today was, something, maybe product marketer or product designer, and now you want to start doing data analysis, you are literally allowed. Like, you don't need permission, and then the resources, like I said, I've created a free, is actually 14-day, 2-week personal brand content template for you on LinkedIn. And I also want you to watch something from Rennie. She's my own mentor. She's my own mentor when it comes to career and like making money as a content creator. I will send the link to the video with you. But let me just do, I was going to, if not for like these children that are, again, it's part of my personal brand. People could know that I have children. Yeah, so I will send the link to like Ehi, and I'm sure like she'll share it with everyone who registered and attended. But this is how the content calendar. Can you still see? Can you see as I'm moving, or is it just you guys can see this, right?
Yes, we can see. We can see.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
LinkedIn, this was for my creator to tech students. What did I used to be known for? I used to be known as a, what do I want to be known for now? I want to be known as a, okay, I think I've left that part. But like, once you guys see it, like, yeah, what brands have I worked with? How do I want to be seen? I want to be seen. I want to position myself for, this was for my marketing students. So feel free to edit it. Who are my prospective clients? Go and do your research, and look at the kind of content, and then just follow this. For Monday, you can put results from content you posted or from one work you did, and the lesson that they need to know. On Tuesday, you can share a testimonial with details. On Wednesday, you can share tools that you use in your job. That's just it. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and I'm also going to mute myself so I can attend to these babies. But if you have any questions, I'm here to answer you.
All right. Thank you so much, Folashade, for sharing that. And I must say that the beauty of your presentation is that it's so loaded with your personal examples, and it's not looking like something from the air. Very easy to understand. And how you talked about the need for us to be able to share content about our journey. Something very profound in what you said about the fact that you may not necessarily be right there yet. You could have one thing you're doing at the moment, but you have somewhere else you're going in future. You're allowed to share and make sure that you do not hide your journey. And I think that's very, very, very pronounced. And the fact that what you said about the possibility of somebody being in a particular industry or area at the moment, and then you want to move into another area. In fact, that conversation is one thing that centers significantly around what Anutio does, around the fact that the platform that we've created allows you to be able to see what are the skills that you have, the other possible areas that you can work. And, that just emphasizes the fact that certainly whatever it is that anyone is doing at the moment, you have other skills, other possibilities that you are able to, leverage and take advantage of. So if you have questions, you can, it's the time for you to ask your questions now. So please, you can, if you can raise your hand, since probably some questions have not been dropped, but if there's anyone who has a question in-house and they hasn't dropped them, you can raise your hand. We can give you room to ask your question.
Sorry, guys. I also wanted to say that before I got like my first international job in Canada, there were a lot of global jobs that I applied to. You pass the first stage of the interview, second stage, third stage, when it now comes to like culture and they find out that you're in Nigeria, they will cut you off. So it might not be, you might not be getting global jobs because, you know, of your location. But if you can't work with them full time, you can also suggest the possibility of coming on board as a freelancer, because some of these US companies, you know, they can't hire you, right? Because, oh, like tax reasons and all of that, all this like bureaucracy. But at least even start getting the interviews, you know, and then you eventually, like I did, find one that does not mind working with you on a contractor basis, because there is also that. I need to mention that as well.
Yeah, thank you for adding that. And of course, for mentioning that even if some jobs are not accessible based on location, there are other, you know, opportunities you can leverage remotely, you know, as well. Yeah, thanks for adding that to the conversation. So do we have questions, other questions? I know at least there was a question at the start. Do we have any more questions for Lashade?
While we're waiting, I'm going to challenge everybody on the call. She said build in public. Building in public also means when you join any conversation, whether online or in person, let your voice be heard. Whenever they ask, say, do you have any question? No question is dumb, no question is stupid. That is your first opportunity to practice building in public, because if you're the only person that ends up asking a question, that speaker is going to remember you after that call, and you never know, there might be something that comes out from it. So I'm just going to drop that there.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for throwing in that challenge. So who is going to take that challenge? You have a question? Okay, Princeton. You have a question. You unmuted yourself. Oh, okay. You can raise hand or you can drop the question on the chat. All right, thanks for dropping that. She just dropped the calendar now. So let's take advantage of it. Okay. All right, so I believe that, of course, in the course of this session, please, it's important that we do not just listen to these things, but that by the time you're leaving here, you consider the need to sit back and create that one statement that will describe you, which is one of the things that Folashade had mentioned to us, the fact that you need to write, you know, that personal statement that describes what you do, who you have done it for, and the results that you have gotten by doing that work that you have done. Okay, so well, the link to
Someone's asking for the link to Folashade's channel. So LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. If we can drop it in the chat, or we'll send it to folks after the call.
okay, so Folashade Diani is her name. So on Instagram, so you can see the link there. Yes. Folashade, I hope I didn't murder that. Yes, the recording for the session is going to be shared. Okay. Ify, your hand is raised up.
Yeah, hi, Falashade. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, I want to ask one question. So, from Falashade, sorry, you had said that for LinkedIn, you will say if you're just trying to build your personal brand, you should start with posting three times a week. Like that's what you were advising. At what point, so you keep posting, how do you not get discouraged? Like, so you post first month, post second month, you can't really see so much traction. What would you advise that should encourage you to keep on on, having to continue posting on those platforms. I don't know if you could hear me. Hello?
Yeah, if we can hear you.
Okay.
Actually, did you get that?
I think there's some people that need to be muted. Kind of thing. Yes.
Okay, so let's do that. I heard you loud and clear. I don't know whether Folash heard you.
Should I go again or?
It looks like Folashade had to drop. So what we can do is we can take the question and then get her to answer it and we'll send it back.
All right. Thank you. That works.
All right, so, well, I believe that you have all taken some learnings. Please, let's make sure we put them to use as we live here. So right now we're going to get into a session that is titled Mapping Your Way to Success. And Ade Joke is going to be showing us some tool, a tool that has been built for you by Anutio that can help you to discover that you have that probably this and help you to be able to position yourself for more opportunities than you're currently accessing. So Ade Joke, you have the floor now.
Hi, everyone. Good evening, good day, good afternoon, wherever you are. Okay, Daniel, can you enable me to share my screen?
Okay, do that right away. Okay, you can go now.
All right. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see you.
Do I need to come on camera?
Yes, if you're able to, please.
Hey.
But you can go ahead. At least you're sharing your screen, so.
All right, that's fine. Welcome once again to our webinar. It's been very impactful, and we just want to show you briefly what we have in Anutio and how we can help you map out your career. One of the most interesting thing Folashade said while she was answering our question was she said she had always written, she's always writing, she had always written blogs, she was always selling, she had always been a marketer. It wasn't really new to her, but she didn't know that there was something like that that could fetch her money, that could fetch her a job. So in this dispensation we are right now in, and especially if you're using Anutio, that shouldn't be a problem to you, because we have built specifically tools to really help you with that. And then I'm going to start with the career map tool we have on the Anutio platform. Simply, what is a career map? So we as humans, we have different skills, we have different competencies. There are so many things we have done. And looking at the aggregate of everything, we could actually fit in different industries, in different career paths that we didn't even know of. And one of the things we have done on Anutio is to enable you see several industries, several jobs that you can take on with the current skills you have. So we are not telling you to go look for more skills. What do you have? We want to make sure that what you have can really get you to where you want to go, or with what you have, you can actually explore other things that you can do. And that is why we have the career match option. Simply it works by you uploading your resume. That's like your CV here. Our upcoming feature on Anutio would also allow you see your personality, whatever your personality is. We are working on that. It's coming out very soon. You could use either your resume or your personality to actually see what you can also do apart from what you're currently doing. All right, so I have my screen here and I have some of my own career map option based on my resume. And from my resume, this resume was actually like a virtual assistant resume. Was not even using my product manager resume. And from that, I could see that I actually have skills in marketing and sales as a digital marketer, as a brand strategist, and as an advertising coordinator. And I'm sure that you're kind of asking that there are percentages here. What do these percentages mean? What's 70%? What's 65%? What's 57%? Clicking on these percentages, you can see so many details about the job that we are telling you that you can actually explore. We have our career description tab here showing you what the description of that job is like. We can see your match skills. So on match skills, we are telling you that based on this resume that you uploaded on the Anutio platform, we can identify these skills as you match that are matched for this new role, right? So these are some of the skills that I have that matches with the digital marketing position. And we are also going to show you your missing skills. So right now you can see that you're like 70% ready for this job, but there are some skills that are missing that could make you 100% ready for the job. And these are the skills that are here in missing skills. And you can see different career progressions as a digital marketing manager. You can also see some of the career responsibilities, the educational requirements. Okay, was that a question?
They still have.
Okay. All right. Please kindly mute. Yeah. So as I was saying, you could see other skills. So these skills are actually both soft and hard skills. And you can see several transition careers. So by transition careers, what other things can you move on to? We're telling you that this job is like a digital marketing manager job, but you can also see other careers like social media manager, content marketing, copyright, and several other careers here. And you can also see several useful courses that you can actually explore. And it's not just only in marketing and sales. So this is like an industry. Yes, marketing and sales, and you can see different career predictions. We're kind of grouping it to you under per industry. Clicking down here, you can see similar jobs. And these are the similar jobs. And you can also see missing skills like we saw earlier. And this missing skill is kind of divided into both soft skills and technical skills or tools. So that's that about the career map. I'm also going to show you other career predictions that my CV brought out. I could see under the IT industry, I could be a successful business analyst, an SEO consultant, and an SEO manager. But at Anutio, we kind of implore that if you have more than 50% job match, you can actually go out to apply for the job. You know, we heard what Folashade said, that there's really no expert, or there's no you keep on improving, you keep on trying, and so nothing should actually really do stop you. So if you have more than 50%, it's good. You learn on the job. You can't learn everything outside of the job. You kind of learn on the job. And so we implore that if you have more than 50%, you can go ahead to apply for that job and get the other skills you're missing. So these are some of the other predictions that my career map is showing. And there's sometimes that you could feel like, oh, would I really do well in any other position, for instance? So we have this bar here telling you that we have a lot of drop-down options here. For example, can I be an HR manager? Do I think it's good for me? And you can click on the HR manager here and click on check. Right. So you might want to try, there are a lot of contemplations now. I want to do this, I want to do that. Our product will really do help you to see if it's something you can venture into based on your current skills. I clicked on HR manager and I can see that I am actually 55% good to go to be an HR manager, right? And when I click on the skill, I can see some of my match skills. I can see some of my missing skills of which I can improve on. So that is one solution we are actually bringing to you that is so helpful in your career journey. Folashade said something about finding relevant communities, and we are here for you in Anutio because we have the circles feature. And you might ask us that what is the circles feature? What is it about? So this is just like a demo, right? For example, you want to be a product manager. For example, you want to be a marketer, you want to be a pharmacist. whatever it is you want to transition into. At Anutio, we have circles. So a circle is like a learning hub. It's like a community hub. We have something called a feed here, where you can think about your Facebook feed here, where you can see different posts on. Okay.
See, wait for the change now.
All right. Can you kindly mute Patience?
Tomorrow, Abby.
Sorry about that. Right. So for instance, I was talking about relevant communities, and in Anutio, we have built that into our platform to make sure that you're in the right community. You know, learning individually could be boring, and we are more focused on social learning and collaborative learning, and that's what we have here in Anutio through our circles feature. On this home screen, you can see like a feed. So think about your Facebook feed. The only difference is that when you're in your circle, everything you're seeing is related to this career path you want to go into. And we have several functions in our circles. We have the home page, which you're seeing. We have the channels. So the channel is like sub-channels. You want to talk about being a digital marketer. So in your sub-channel, you could have a sub-channel on email marketing. You could have a sub-channel on content creation. You could have a sub-channel on social media management, and also it helps you segregate and segment your discussions. And that is what the channel is like in the circle. You also have like your resource feature, and on the resource feature, Anutio has given every circle the privilege to upload videos. Yeah, you can create a folder, and then you can upload either videos, you can upload documents, you can upload links, you can upload pictures. Yeah. So and you can store it in a very detailed way using different folders. That's what the resource is all about. And you could also chat one-on-one. Yeah, so you could have Hey or Folashade in your circle and chat with her directly. Yes, and that's what this is all about for the circles. And talking about achievements, so you know, Folashade was talking about how she got a job by helping a friend, you know, trying to revamp our introduction or our resume and all like that. You know, there are some times that you have done something and you just forgot about it, but it could be your big tick to getting that new job. It could be your big tick to transition. And so at Anutio, we want you to capture every achievement. There is nothing like a small achievement. Everything you do counts, right? And that's why we have the capture achievement feature. So you can capture achievements related to your schoolwork. Let's say you were in a project, or you're in a team and you needed to carry out a project. There was a situation before, there was a task that you were assigned with, there were actions you took, there were results you got. Many a times you just allow it slip by. So capture achievement is like your brag book. You're bragging on this, I did this, and it's meant for you. So with the capture achievement, you capture achievement on Anutio with the STAR model. And by STAR, it means S is for situation. What was the situation before? The T is for the task. The A are for the actions, and the R is for the result, right? So when you capture your achievements on the Anutio app, the next thing it brings you is that you get to choose skill tags. And that's when you kind of realize that, oh, I had this skill, I used this skill, I used this skill and that. You link it up to a project and you have resume bullet points generated for you, such that you have a list of resume generated points. So it's not like a CV. So you have like points generated. And I must also mention to you that in our upcoming in our next version of Anutio, on your career map here, you can, when you click on the link, you can actually download a resume for any position you're trying to, a resume template, I mean, for any position you're trying to vie in. So that's going to come out in our new version. Yes, so just Yeah, just wait for that. It's gonna be massive. Yeah. So under the achievements, as I was saying, so you have like resume points, and whenever you're applying for a position, you can look through your captured achievements and you can kind of pick up a point. So Anutio helped you to summarize your points, and then you can easily use that. We also have the job session where you can easily search for jobs. You can filter according to experience, according to entry level, and you can have your best matches that are related, that's jobs that are related to your skills, to your education, to whatever it is that you've imputed on our app, and it is all AI generated. That's the good thing. Talking about projects, on Anutio, we are here to just make you explore several options. And so we partnered with several organizations, and you can actually have projects here, and that would help you with your proof of work. Folashade said something about you have to show proof of work. Yeah, so when you have, even if your entry level, your 0 level, and you have done a project, right? So you can easily come to the Anutio app. You can see, you can create, you can join a project, you can work, and after the outcome of the project, you have a proof of work. You've done it. It's a project, you've successfully done it, and so you can actually show people that, yeah, I've done this work, I've done that work, and yeah, that's how it is. So these are like short bullet points of what we have for you on the Anutio app. You also have your profile, yeah, where you can upload your picture, you can upload your work experience, your skills, your interests about you. You can also book a call with our several mentors on the platform, and you can also suggest a feature. So this suggest a feature. If you want us to add more features, you want to see this in the Anutio app, you want to see that in the Anutio app, we have this option for you to suggest a feature. So that's Anutio 101. Yeah, that's the first version of Anutio, and that's what we're showing to you today. So thank you all for listening. Over to you, Daniel.
Thank you so much, Adejoke, for maximizing that time to deliver such a wonderful, presentation about this product. If you're excited in the house to see this product and the value it brings aboard, please join. Just drop an emoji in the chat room. Let's see. Let's know that you are happy and you're getting value from this session. All right. So I expect that since you're here and this is being shared with you, that you right away download the application or sign up on web so that you can begin to take advantage of these features for your career advancement. So please go download and then make sure that you have the Anutio app right, on your phone. Okay, so Folashade, while you were away, there was a question that was asked. Are you with us? Will you be able to take the questions now? If you can?
Yeah, I can answer.
Great. Okay. If he had asked a question that you had shared a content calendar and looking at the frequency of content that people are expected to share, how do you manage a situation where you're posting and the responses are not very good? How do you avoid burnout, as you share those contents online?
Okay, so I feel like that's two questions. Your posting and content is not really good, right? That's the first one, right?
Yes, no, you shared a content calendar, right? A sample content
Yeah,
calendar.
the templates, yes.
The frequency of, and she was looking at that, the frequency on that calendar. How do you avoid when you post, you keep posting, you post on Monday and then you post on Tuesday, and you're not necessarily getting the kind of feedback. How do you keep motivated, to keep posting in spite of the response that you're currently?
Oh, okay. So I would say like this is like a general principle I apply even in like marketing, like content creation, especially when it comes to building your personal brand. People may not like it, they may not comment, but they are watching.
Mm.
And I'll use an example. Take your eyes off like the vanity metrics. And like I'm not even saying that like the metrics are not like an indicator. If you do like everything I mentioned, if you share relatable content, if you're actually solving people's problems, you would get some level of engagement. But don't be so stuck on the numbers that you miss the essence. The essence is visibility. Okay, so let me give an example, 2 examples. I posted something about one of my students getting a role on LinkedIn. Somebody that I don't even think she commented at all. Maybe I'm not even sure she liked it. Just sent me a message like later that, oh, she's hiring, for a marketing role in Canada. And if I know anyone, that I should refer. And it was because of that post, right? So people are watching whether or not they like it. So take your mind off like how many likes or comments you're getting. Those are vanity metrics. Your focus should be on the quality of work you're churning out, the quality of content you're sharing, how you're solving people's problems, and that will take care of itself. That's the first thing. The other thing I wanted to say is still like in the lines of like people are watching because and they might not even like any of your comments. Like last week, and even I think last week, I had to hire a couple of marketing assistants for some of the startups I consult for in Canada. And I'm telling you that I was thinking about it like, oh my God, I needed 2 people. I'd already gotten one. In fact, one person I got was someone that sent me a cold email via like my email, right? And the person did it so well. I even did like a breakdown on LinkedIn. I'd already gotten that one person. So I was like, oh my God, who is the second person? Like I need a second person. And I was racking my brain. I was trying to remember. And the names that kept coming to mind were people like that I usually see that post regularly on LinkedIn. Called some of them, they were not available. I eventually found someone else like referred, like recommended, but you just never know. Your goal is to stay top of mind, to share relatable lifestyle, not lifestyle, relatable content, relevant content that is helpful, genuinely helpful, and forget about the likes. Take your mind off that one. And that content calendar I shared, it is a template. Even me, I don't post Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I post when I remember to post. But initially, when I was trying to build like cadence on LinkedIn, I was posting like a lot more consistently. So just feel free to edit it to your lifestyle, to whatever fits, so that you don't burn out.
All right. Thank you very much for that great answer. I guess that has answered the question. The rule that you had just said, I think it's a rule that it typically applies generally in life. I was speaking to somebody about how experience is very key. Don't sit somewhere doing nothing. The number of hours or time you spend doing certain job over a period of time accumulates to giving you so much value that your worth increases, over time. So we don't burn out. Keep working, keep posting, be consistent, and ultimately post for the essence of posting, and then you ultimately get the value over time. Thank you very much for helping with that answer. All right, quickly, we're going to run on to the next session. We're running fast out of time. And this time around, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the theme of the program, accessing global job opportunities. And to take that session is Nelson Dominic. Nelson is a seasoned HR practitioner with almost a decade in HR space, and he has driven several human capital agenda across about 10 countries. He also has a proven track record in leading strategic change management initiatives, HR service delivery, organizational design and development, and HR transformation during mergers and acquisitions. And in this webinar, we expect to hear from Nelson as he'll be teaching ways to navigate the global market, job market, build a strong international career profile, and leverage technology for global collaboration and much more. Please join me as I welcome Nelson Dominic to take this session. Please drop an emoji. Let him know that you are happy that he's joining us.
All right. Thank you very much, Daniel. Thank you, Lola. Thank you to the entire Anutio team for having me. And a big kudos to Fola Shade for the earlier session she has taken. And I think that our session was really very insightful and a good intro to this conversation this evening. Because I say to people that when it comes to career building, or when it comes to growing your career, you really cannot do, even when it comes to finding international roles, right? You really cannot achieve much without building a personal brand, right? Over time, I've noticed that the people who make it about what they do, that get noticed the most, and then you just place a perceived value on them, whether they are valuable or not. That's a different conversation, right? But because they are out there, they sound like they are intelligent, they sound like they have sense, they keep putting out the content. You, from a reality to see, just place a passive value on them. The reason why Anutio has invited to speak to us this evening here in Nigeria, where I'm currently sitting, is because of the perceived value that the team at Anutio think I probably have to give to people today. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I mean, we'll find out as we go. But my point from there is that as you grow in your career, you must be able to control the perception that people have of you and what you do. You must build it and grow it. There are thousands of HR people in Nigeria, but there are some HR names you will mention, people will know them. Now, that doesn't mean they are the best in terms of head knowledge when it comes to HR practice and HR delivery, right? But you will mention these names because they are out there over time, constantly, of which then you can then say, oh, this person is valuable, and then you can invite them for your events, you can think highly of them, etc. And so, thank you again, Folashade, for that session. And I think that is a good foundation for us, and something for us to also think through, right? As I grow in my career, there are plenty of HR people. What will make me stand out? There are plenty of market people. What will make me stand out? There are plenty of tech people, software people, accountant, whatever career you have chosen for yourself, right? What would be your own defining moment for you, or what people know you as, or how can you probably position yourself to get the opportunity that you want? So let me just go straight into my topic for this evening. Feel free if you want to ask questions, interrupt as we go. I'm not one to work with lights. I like to most time talk from my heart, especially from the understanding of whatever subject matter I'm speaking in. So I won't be sharing any slides, but however, I'll be talking to us from my heart around the topic assessing global job opportunities. Folashade said something earlier on. She said there are jobs. You see, when we HR people say there are jobs, people think we are just ranting or bragging. Now, when we say, oh, there are jobs, but there are no talent for these jobs, or there are jobs, or we truly cannot find talent from it. People think we have 50,000, whatever statistics you have, people getting year on year from Nigeria, from schools, you can't say there are no talent. First, you want to ask yourself, what does organization define as talent? And do you fit into that category? I was at an event earlier today, and the CFO of one of the biggest insurance company in Nigeria, group of insurance company in Nigeria, was speaking. And then he mentioned that currently his organization are looking out for a CEO, and they are ready to pay anything, right? They are looking for a CEO and they've not found one. And then I said, who in this room can be a CEO? And I saw someone raise his hand in the auditorium. And I just laughed inside of me that, are you joking? This is a joke. Right? and that's because you hear, oh, we're looking for a CEO. Your immediate action is, oh, I can be CEO. No, you cannot be CEO. And that's not because of, no, okay, let me rephrase that. No, you can't be CEO yet. Right? And that's because, I mean, we know you here. You are not even a supervisor material. How much more CEO of a global insurance organization, right? Now, he said that to say to people in the room, to say, see, there are different roles open every day. But how much have you as an individual grown from time to time to be able to assess those roles, those job opportunities that are constantly available? Every organization, year on year, has one or two roles open that they either feel internally or they feel externally. Every organization, especially when we talk about multinationals, have people retire every year, right? Every organization are building their talent pool from the scratch, whether it's graduate training to them, whatever it is, right? Every startup needs the right talent to work for them, right? You will find that the few talents we have are constantly rotating around the few organizations. So you have a lot of job seekers, but few talents. Let me not confuse you further. When we talk about the word talent, talent is an awesome word to explain or to describe one who has the right skill set, right? Now, skill set is wide as well. The right skill set to match a particular job role in a particular organization. Now, anybody can be looking for a job, but not everybody has the right skill set to be able to get into whatever rooms they need to get into. And so all of this, is what I'll be talking about, in brief, and then tying it to how we can, build up ourselves to assess the global job market in a short while. I rather will make interactive. I'll take questions, right? So I'll just rush through my conversation and the few things I've noted down. First, let's understand what the current trend is, right? And I'll be talking about this from, assessing global markets, and in this point, remote jobs, because aside, only a few organizations would offer you jobs from outside Nigeria and then relocate you, right? However, there are a lot of organizations that give you jobs so you can work remotely. And so there are a good number of remote jobs, right? And then the demand for remote jobs has significantly increased. Now, people all over the world have come to understand that talent is everywhere, opportunity is just everywhere. And so you will find whatever talent you're looking for in Nigeria, in India, in Pakistan, in Yemen, in Benin Republic, in Togo, in Canada, in Australia, in UK, in New Zealand, whatever country, right? Talent is everywhere. So organizations are finding that, you know what, we can have talent sitting in whatever country, whatever continent they want to sit in, and ever get the same value from them. And so the demand for remote jobs has significantly increased, especially post-COVID in 2020. Right now, companies are now more open to hiring talents from around the world. Now recognizing that it's a diverse workforce, right? This people are seen that, having a diverse workforce, people from different spheres of life, different walks of our life, different culture, right, can help us in increasing our innovation and increase productivity, right? However, right, you find that when you don't come about, so if all of these jobs are now open, right, we have all of these remote opportunities, we have organizations that are looking to put people from Africa, from Nigeria to hire, then you would then ask yourself, what in-demand skills, right, are these people looking to hire for? The truth is, a Nestle in UK, for instance, will not be looking to hire a remote employee. Why? Because Nestle in UK is a sole food manufacturing organization. And so if they would hire you from Nigeria, it's probably relocation. But however, a Flutterwave headquartered in US, or let me say what foreign organization can I mention now? Any of these big foreign organizations, right, can hire you, right, because they are solely a tech organization or solely a service organization, and you can do your job remotely without having to work on some machines in a particular plant, right? And so you then, with that understanding, you know that the demands or the skills demanded or the skills in demand, right, for the remote jobs now are not the same set of skills that you would demand in your typical manufacturing or your typical banking. I mean, when I mean banking, I mean traditional banking now environment, right? They are highly technological, they are highly tech-driven, they are highly tech-savvy. And so one thing you must understand that first is identify what is the crucial skills needed for you to stand out in the global job market. How many of us truly have sat down to say, what is the generic skill that I need to build, that I need to get some? And the first skill that we probably want to take for granted, right? Because it's easy for us to want to begin to look at technical skills. The first is the soft skill. If you have not mastered communication, as funny as this may be, right? You're talking with an Indian in your local organization in Nigeria, or you're talking with an American somewhere, and all you do is laugh at the way they speak and mimic them. And instead of you to try to understand them, you want to brush them off. There's no way you should be looking to work in a global organization, because you'll be talking to these white guys every day. And so if you don't even understand how to communicate, now I've realized and I've found that over and over again, that a lot of young people, a lot of people don't even know how to communicate. Communication is a major problem, right? We think we can talk, and talking is not communication, right? How are you communicating whatever projects you're working on? How are you communicating your progress? How are you communicating the challenges you currently have? How are you also communicating things that should be communicated and not just over talking, right? So communication is a skill beyond, oh, we think we can talk, we can write, say mode of communication, speaking, email. It's how do you put your thoughts together to pass the right message that you are not, what's the word now? You're not misunderstood, right? And so I just mentioned that to say the in-demand skills that you will need, right, is totally different. And so you first want to do your research to say, if I'm looking to assess global opportunities, what skills do I need? Now, beyond the technical skills that you need, whatever field you have chosen, right, is what soft skill do I need to thrive? Collaboration is key. You would not say that you want to work for international organization and you don't understand what collaboration is. you must know that you must collaborate with somebody probably sitting in Canada, somebody probably sitting in UK. Now, how do you collaborate so that you achieve the same thing? There's Slack, there are other tools for you to use. You're currently an organization, but the sound of Microsoft Teams gets you angry, right? People are trying to get you on project during the day because you're working from home, you're just not available. Then you are not made for the global market, right? Because as far as the global market is concerned, your availability, right, is more important. Your soft skill, collaboration, communication are even more important than even the technical skills that you probably think you have. And so while you're looking at the soft skills, also look at the technical skills that you think are needed. And I just mentioned a few. And you know, it's difficult for me to say, oh, these are technical skills you need because it depends on your field. If you're in software, for instance, you know, technical skills you'll be needing, all of your programming languages, etc. Right? If you are probably in product design, for instance, you'll be able to use Jira, Confluence, all of those things. Product design, Figma, all of those, you know, different tools that you need to use. Having those technical skills to work on those things are very important. However, the soft skills are in-demand skills that you must not forget, that you must embrace if you really, really want to be a candidate for accessing global job opportunities. I'll move on. Talking of technology as well, right? There are several career paths, right? That one must look at. Remember, I said that you should not be targeting a company like Nestle UK or Nestle Canada if you're looking to work fully remotely, because these are food manufacturing companies that all they do is majorly manufacturing. Of course, they could have a few roles like maybe business analysis, right? That you can do remotely. However, that is not their style. And so you must know that the kind of role you're looking for, right, would then be roles that are more in demand for some of these countries, right? And I'll give an example. For instance, software development, data analytics, cybersecurity, digital marketing. Digital marketing is even very wide, right? There's SEO, content creation, social media management, project management, agile methodologies, you know, remote project coordination, right? I mentioned soft skills, for instance, communication, adaptability, teamwork, and problem-solving abilities, right? Should be things that we should be thinking of if we want to access global market opportunities. Let me then come to tailoring your resumes, right? When we talk about tailoring your resumes, do not carry the same resume, right, that you use in Nigeria to target jobs abroad. Instead, I'll say to you that look for international templates and tweak your CV to it and make it and use it even in Nigeria. Then carrying a Nigerian template that is mostly not so great. I mean, I'm not trying to talk down on Nigeria here. And then begin to throw it out. Every of these countries, some of these industries have some specific template for your CVs. Do your research. How should a software engineer in Canada, in UK, tailor their CV? What should be the template? Use that template. It is very easy for you for you to use that, right? So please, it's very important. Tailor your CV according to the templates, you know, of where you think you want to work. Use clear and concise format. Highlight your relevant skill and experience. Include your measurable achievement. Not just dump your JD on your CV, right? Whatever I see they are doing as a job description or where you're currently working, just dump it on your CV. No, highlight your achievement, things you have achieved, things you've done, and make it clear and visible on your CV. Number 4 is, where do you find opportunities? Now, global job boards can really aid in your search. So some popular boards like, you know, LinkedIn, Flash, I said earlier on, put yourself out there on LinkedIn, right? Indeed, Glassdoor, Remote.co, FlexJob. All of these are several sites, you know, for you to explore if you're looking for international remote jobs, even while you're in Nigeria, right? Now, this platform, they aggregate several platform listings and bring them together, right? So it's okay for you to be able to know how to use this platform, find them, and work with them. One important thing is cultural competence. Understand that different cultures is key. Understanding different culture is key to successful, right, international work. Familiarizing yourself with cultural norms, right? And one norm you must get is if you want to work with international organization, one of the things you must kill, right, which is a terrible culture for us, but the white man will never joke with, is that Africans, we don't know how to rest. Now, we believe that we will work from dawn to dusk, right? We do not go on annual leave, we're not going to have a position. And we believe that being on our laptop 24/7 is what productivity is. However, if you get to work with foreigners, you will find out that they will put their 100% during their 9 to 5. But once it is 5 p.m., you hardly will find these guys on their system, right? These guys will prioritize their leave, and during their leave, you cannot send them an email. And so if, for instance, you have a boss, and because you have worked in Nigerian organizations where the culture is by 9 p.m., you are still meeting with your manager, and you are sending your manager, who is not a white man, emails on work by 5:30. If that manager has the mindset of, see, work is work, rest is rest, I spend my family, you'll be putting him off and you'll be on his bad book as very early. And so understand this cultural difference of how people work, right? The values, right? Etiquette, right? Their backgrounds, right? All of this is understand them and find how to kill yourself, act like them, behave like them, learn it, right? Ensure that you're not bringing whatever cultural, I mean, no, I'm trying to choose my words here, right? So I don't say something. You're not bringing some cultural nonsense, let me put it that way, now into whatever job you're trying to understand these cultural competencies and to work for you, right? And learn to adapt to those cultures. Be open-minded, be flexible, right? So you're trying to adapt to several cultures. I've talked about language and communication, right? And then continuous learning and professional development, right? You're looking to get a job, for instance, in some of these countries, you know that there are some certifications that they probably take in high esteem. Please go ahead and get those certifications, right? Professional association, see, you cannot do without having a network of people, a community of people. So whatever career field you are, there are several communities that you can belong to. Join one, ensure that you're not just joining local ones, right? Join the ones that have some international affiliations, have some people there, and do not be the silent member of the group, right? Ensure that you're constantly communicating your value, you're constantly speaking, you're constantly, adding value to that community so much that you are easily recognized, right? Now, finally, finding a global mentor. Now, seek out mentors, right, who have experience working internationally, right? And these guys will be there to guide you from time to time, even in your search. Now, most importantly, as I wrap up, right, which is the bedrock of everything, you will not, no matter what you know, if you do not put yourself out there, there's really no way you can access global opportunities. You may be lucky, you just go on these global websites, you apply, you get interviews and all of that. But most times, being visibility is what will place you in the faces of people who matters in this market you're trying to approach. And so by being visible, I'm not saying, be doing eye service. No. Put out your content, put out your materials, put your face out there, Google some of these communities, join them, right? And try to play on a global scale rather than just, your local community, right? Interact with people, go on LinkedIn, make friends with people on this organization that you think you want to work for remotely. Ask questions, right? Do not sound desperate. I want to work for you. Ask questions. How does it look like? How does this feel like working here? What skills do you, if I want to work here, what skills I can bring aboard? Or can you guide me through it? Can you mentor me through this journey? Those are the things that open doors, right, for these opportunities for you, right? I don't want to take much of your time anymore, right? I just want to keep my own should I call it speech now, very short, and then I'll take a pause here, and I'll be open to taking questions from now on this subject matter. Thank you and good evening.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nelson. The energy, the value that you just dished out is amazing. Thank you for sparing your time to do this, to add value to the community and to help other people to climb the ladder. And in fact, you have said some very striking things in the course of your presentation. Before I proceed, please, if you have questions for Nelson, you can drop them in the chat box so that we can take the questions. In fact, you've said some very critical and made some very vital points around the fact that, talents, it's a question of talent, right? There are jobs, but there is a dearth of talents that are able to fit into the roles that are available. And of course, that's a challenge to everyone to make sure that we are developing the skills that are going to be useful and valuable to organizations. And I picked something from what you also said about the fact that beyond the technical skills, soft skills are very important. And of course, research has shown that organizations are looking for multi-dimensional, skilled people. Beyond just focusing on your narrow scope of work, it's important to develop other skills, soft skills, emotional intelligence, and communication, key skills that would help us to be able to interact on the job and increase our productivity. And that's very profound. And one other thing that I, noted as one of the strong points that you have highlighted is the fact that it's important to have a CV, but ensure that your CV is well targeted to the roles that you're trying to apply for, to the territory you're trying to apply for. Do not just use a generic CV for different applications for different opportunities. Thank you so much for sharing from your depth of knowledge and experience. And so please quickly, if we have questions, it's time to take those questions. Any questions on the chat box? Okay, Princeton Arigi is asking a question. It says, my concern is about this CV that has been much talked about. I recently joined a webinar, and one of the discussants was wondering how will an organization be asking for years of experience when you don't even have one in that role you're looking out for? In that instance, what do you do? He's worried about the fact that some jobs come with requirements to have experience, certain number of years of experience, whereas he doesn't have so much. How do you handle that?
So let me attempt to give you an insight into an hiring manager's mindset. Not just HR now, because I say to people, I say, hiring manager is the manager of the role the team or the role you are interviewing for. So for instance, HR put out an advert, right, for a finance senior associate, for instance. The hiring manager for that role is not the HR. The hiring manager is the finance manager of that organization, right? Now, HR did not just wake up that day and decide to define what the JD for that role is. In fact, HR goes to the hiring manager and say, guy, give me the job spec of the person you're looking to hire. So meaning, what are you looking for in a talent you need to hire? And most times we go as, when I mean we now, I'm trying to talk about serious organization, right? We go as, defining what we call a candidate persona. What do you want that candidate to look like? What will the person be doing? So beyond what you have written, right, what will the person be doing over time? And with that, you then define what you see as a JD. Now, the level of work you'll be requiring from that person is more, and the level of authority or autonomy, right, is what necessitates why you have the years of experience. I like to do that very clear. I'll say that again. The level of work or autonomy required of a role is what is used to define the years of experience needed for that role. We have ever found out over time that there are times where I like to say something, right? I say, with over a little above a decade in my HR practice, my boast to tomorrow is the quality of experience I've built and not in the quantity of my experience. And I would explain that. Because in just about 10 years of my career, I've managed projects that people who probably have sitting in a recruitment unit in some organization can never manage, where the HR people. Now, HR has several branches. There's recruitment. I'm trying to make it simple, so I'm not trying to be big. There's recruitment, there's training and development, there's function and benefit, there's employee relations, people operations, different aspects of HR, right? There are people who probably come to an organization and all they have done in the last 4 years is employee relation. Oh, work on HMO for employees. Give them their HMO. They come and complain. HR answer them. And that's what you do as HR. Now, you will do that for 20 years. You will assume that you're a solid HR person. What you have is years of experience and not quality of experience. However, you find the same person in HR who has only worked for 5 years, but has done compensation and benefits, recruitment and selection, training and development. In my case, for instance, managing a merger and acquisition project. I can count how many people in Nigeria has done that. Right? Now, the quality of my experience is now totally different, even though I have just a little above 10 years experience. However, for people probably have been working way more than me, the quality is different. I just said that so you understand that quality and quantity of experience are not the same thing. However, when organizations define years of experience, it is because of the expected level of autonomy that they have put on that role. So if, for instance, we expect that the person coming as a senior account officer should be managing 2 team members, you will not expect that they will put the years of experience to be 2 years experience. Because in all honesty, 2 years was NYC experience, right? You should be playing on an analyst associate level. You really should be learning to first lead yourself before you are equipped to lead people. Because at that point, you are no longer responsible for your own deliverable, but it's deliverable of your team. So imagine you then come, because you are looking for a job, and your issue is not, they are giving to your experience. It's because you don't have this insight understanding that I have, and that's what I'm trying to explain it to you, right? So for me, instead of being angry or being, I don't have the experience, what would I do? I don't have the experience after I can do the job. It is proving beyond reasonable doubt that you have the quantity of experience, like I said earlier on, to deliver on this task, even though you have less than the specified years of experience. I'll say that again. Proving beyond reasonable doubt that you have the quality of experience to deliver on this particular you're applying for, instead of you nagging that they are asking for extra year of experience. If truly you are talent. I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Proving by the quality of your experience that you have what it takes to get that job done. And there's something about that you have just said, that many times people have done certain things, maybe while in the university, leading clubs or doing, several, they've had achievements over time. Or many times we don't pull out those, achievements and, see how we can position them to help us get those jobs that we're trying to get. And well, I think if you begin to use the Anutio app from today, all those your achievements, you're able to capture them, and you can easily leverage them when these kind of opportunities come. Okay, so let's quickly move to the next question. Okay, Princeton, you're asking a follow-up questions. Many times people are employed as teachers, for instance, and they remember quite vividly someone lamenting that they have experience, but in teaching. And let's say, for instance, you're looking for a job in marketing. Does that mean you have to throw away those teaching experience and look for experience for which, and then
let me answer Princeton, Daniel, right? I think that to survive in the competitive job market, you need to throw emotions away. If not, you constantly be on the losing side. You need to also have a renewed mindset. I'm a Christian. I'm sorry if you're not. And so I'll quote the scripture that says, I'll paraphrase the scriptures, right? Constantly renewing of your mind. Doing away with the old mindset, right, will help you to grow. I'll give you an example. I'm married, for those that don't know. And okay, should I use that example? I mean, let me go ahead. So I studied English education. And so the typical part you probably want is, you probably will see that I should probably be in a classroom now teaching English. But I knew from my training that no, I was going to do HR, right? I've done teaching practice, I had teaching experiences. My wife as well studied English education, right? I started out teaching, but she came and said, no, I don't want to teach anymore, I'm tired of this. What we decided to do was we needed to chart a new career path for her, even then as friends. And we started on the journey of research. So I think that most times, right, when people complaining, I only have teaching experience, why you ask me for experience for marketing? What do you know in marketing you want to come and do in the first place? Let's not lie to ourselves. So you think we should take a gamble on you because we like you or because you're emotional? No, nobody would do that. It is you who will come and show some level of value. Yes, you do not have an experience in marketing, but what have you done around marketing over a period of time? What learnings have you taken in? What marketing campaigns have you been involved in, even on a contract basis, on a voluntary basis, even not a full-time job? What can you show on your CV, on interview, so that, oh, I have an idea of marketing thing, so just give me a chance. So, but if all you are coming to me is emotions and say, oh, I've taught before, but by God's grace, I can do it, I can do market. Okay, I will not hire you. You will not beat me. Right? So I think we should just take away the emotions first. Right? And then understand that, see, the game is the game. The thing is the thing. If I want to do marketing, then I need to put in the work. What skills do I need in marketing? Who do I need to talk to? What communities do I need to belong to? How do I build these skills? And what is my timeline? Now, after I'm building these skills, who do I need to work with and talk to guide me into getting a job that will take a chance on me? No job body will give you a job they don't think you can do because they like your face, except your father's company, and that's fine. However, we must constantly learn that if my wife today is a solid product manager, right? She's done product for more than 5 years, doing well for herself. But initially, she was a teacher. But what did we do? We decided to say, well, check the course for her to say, for the next 2 years, you're going to be on the learning spree. And after 2 years, they will not going to be to look for a job for you to get into this. But you have not learned, you have not built that path for yourself, you have not done your research, you expect that because, no, please, let's not do that.
All right, thank you very much, Nelson, for that solid answer. So please, it's important, if you're trying to get into a new field, take new learnings, get an internship, volunteer, acquire certain experience in that area, engage in projects that will give you the needed experience so that you're able to then showcase that experience to your potential hirer. All right, thank you very much for that. Now, let's take this last question. Oh, okay. I think this is a question for the organizers. Is asking if we have a platform where remote job opportunities are shared. Please sign up on Anutio, and then you can have access to job opportunities that are shared on the platform. Okay, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate you, Nelson, for sparing your time to share with the young people on this call. And I think you have touched some very critical, topics or subjects that allows for easy transition into the opportunities that many of the people on the call will be looking forward to accessing. Thank you so much once again for your time. We appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. All right, so at this time, we're going to be running towards the close of the session. Well, before we do that, I just want to ask 1 or 2 questions before we call it a day. Okay, so just to confirm that you've been following, I don't want one person to just share with me something that you have picked from this session that you're going home with. Just one person. Just tell me something that you have picked from this session that you're going home with. Is anybody doing that? Just one thing that you've picked from this session that you're going with.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you, Patience Koga.
Thank you. Okay, I'm Patience Koga. I want to say thanks to the presenter. That was great. Though I joined in late, but at least I had the opportunity to benefit from his presentation. And one thing I'm taking home after his presentation tonight is like the last example he shared of his wife, from being a teacher to having to switch to a career, something she realized she wanted a change. So how did they go about it? They know she needed to start up learning, the research process, learning. And then after she had learned, then they got her a job. So what I've taken out of it is, if I want to do this, I need to start to invest my knowledge in that area so that I can prepare myself for available opportunities that will come that I will not be slacking or miss it because I'm not fully prepared. No, but I'll be prepared knowledge-wise and experience as well through volunteering and other things, community service, so that I will be at the top of any selection process. So that was great for me. So thank you very much. I've taken that and I'm going to work on it. Yes.
All right, thank you very much for that. You certainly have learned a lot, and you've taken a vital learning. Ola Vincent is saying you need to throw away emotions and have a renewed mindset to grow. All right, Princeton Arigi is saying upskill, and he's saying that's what he's going home with. I think at this time I'll just also want to ask one person to tell me.
Daniel, I think we have a hand raised. Linda has a hand raised.
Okay. Oh, Linda. Okay. Linda, can you quickly say something? Make it very brief, 30 seconds, max.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm glad to be a part of this section. I'm Linda from Liberia.
Hello.
And there are things that I learned, but let me just share one. That is, I should learn to tailor my CV to meet the job that I want, especially the place that I want the job, the country. I shouldn't just carry one CV from Africa here and I want to carry the same with. No, it should be able to meet international standards. So that's one of the major things I learned this evening. Thanks so kindly for this opportunity.
Thank you, and thank you for keeping it very, very brief. Now, one last question before I close this session. I want somebody to tell me 2 features that they've found from the conversations we've had, the demonstrations we've also had on the Anutio app. 2 features that you think is useful and can help you to advance your career. I need somebody to quickly answer that question. Because this session is about you making sure using all the avenues that are available to be able to, advance your career. And Adejoke shared some features that can help you to advance your job search and your career ultimately. Okay, Linda once again has her hands up. All right, quickly help us with that. And then we can...
Okay, so those 2 features, I think one has to do with soft skills that have to do with your communication skills, and the other one have to do with your technical skills, that is being able to know or be able to do the job you are applying for. Yeah.
Okay, so Linda has spoken about certain competencies that she has learned are very vital. But I also want to talk about some features on the Anutio app that they think can be useful for their career advancement. Okay, Christina and Joku.
Good evening, everybody from my time. Good afternoon from your time, and good morning wherever you are. Okay, so 2 features that I find very, very valuable in that Anutio app is the project part. In fact, 3. The project part where I'll be able to put up my project on the app to showcase what I've done and the things I know. Then the second one is the job feature, where I'll be able to search for jobs that match my technical skills. And the third one is the CV testing feature. I don't know if I got it right, but from what he was showing, where I'll be able to put out my CV to know if I have the necessary skills.
Yes.
And
so
to
that's
know if my CV
yes,
is
yes.
okay.
Thank you very much. That's called the career mapping feature, and that's the feature that helps you put in your
Yes.
and then it tells you, suggests to you certain job roles that you have the tendency, you have the ability to be able to take on. Thank you very much for sharing that. And I really want to say thank you all for staying for this long. Before we close, we'll have a closing remark from Ehi, the CEO and founder.
Hi, can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I want to believe that everyone has gained a lot from the conversations with Folashade and with Nelson. I don't know if you noticed, I was taking notes here. Like learning never stops. Like it keeps going. There were things that they shared that I was like, oh my god, wow! I wish I had known this like 15 years ago when I was just still trying to figure out my career when I was still at school. So you heard it already. It's one thing to attend webinars. It's one thing to attend courses or take learnings. The most important thing is taking action. Folashade said it, Nelson said it, put yourself out there. If you don't put yourself out there, opportunities will not find you, no matter how smart you are. And the truth is everybody is smart in their own way. So you need to show what you're capable of, what you can offer. And Folashade's story made me think back to as far back as 2014. I was still in Nigeria at the time. I was just graduating. In 2013, 2014, I got my first remote work with an international client based in Scotland. I was an extreme introvert, but the only reason I got that job was because I joined an online competition that required me to write articles for 5 weeks. I wrote those articles. We ended up getting into an international competition for agriculture graduates and students. We won third prize globally. And then suddenly, people started reaching out to me. I did not have any experience in setting up a factory or building up, getting importation license, but that was what she hired me to do. And I was able to do that as far back before remote job became like a thing. So whatever job path you are, whatever career path you are, you have to put yourself out there. And something else that Nelson said is communication. Are you communicating or are you just talking? There are two different things, and that's stuck out for me because a lot of people struggle with communication. Whether you're currently employed, you are in school, you are engaging with friends, are you just talking for the sake of it, or are you actually communicating in a way that delivers value? And the last bit was, are you a talent or are you just a worker or a job seeker? That's a question you have to answer for yourself. If you're currently employed, ask yourself, would your organization consider you a talent? Or are you just another worker? If you are another worker, then you do have a lot of work to do. You need to stand out as a talent. And you can do that by applying all of the tips that Folashade has shared, Nelson has shared. And for those who are saying, oh, I might not have an experience, you always have experience. You just don't know it. And so that's part of the reasons why we are building Anutio, to help you understand what your skills and experiences are and how you can leverage those talents that you have to position yourself to get the most for yourself. I hope this has been valuable to you all. I encourage you to, download the app, share your feedback with us, follow us on our social channels, follow Nelson on LinkedIn. He shares a lot of, very amazing content. Subscribe to Folashade's channels on YouTube, on Instagram. You will not regret that you did. I'm continuously learning from, people that I feel are smarter than I am. So, and that's literally the best way to go. But yeah, thank you so much for spending your time with us.
Yeah, thank you very much. So you've made my closing work very easy. So thanks for that beautiful, summary. And want to appreciate everyone that's taking time to join us in the course of this session. Here at Anutio, what is critical and vital for us is helping you to be able to be all that you can be. It is not enough to be what you are currently. It is important for you to continue to evolve so that until you get to where you desire to be. So please follow us and take advantage of the opportunities that we'll continue to share even after this session. Once again, I appreciate our speakers for making their time to be here, and the members of the team at Anutio for your contributions to making sure that this event is a success. Thanks, everyone, and have a good evening for those in the evening, a good day for those who are still in the daytime. Thank you for your time. Take care.
Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.